Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Speedify Office Hours. I'm Alex Gizis. This is Kevin Cunningham. Hello. This is the live stream about Speedify. So if you guys have questions about Speedify, we are here to answer them. Otherwise, we're just going to babble about Speedify until someone gives us something. So we are live. So if you post anything in the comments, we will see it and respond. It'll be awesome. So anyone out there, even if you don't have any questions, tell us where you are. Just post it in the comments. Where are you? We're in Philly. Drop any questions you have at Speedify. So maybe we should talk a little bit about how to use Speedify. So let's go on to that section of the show. So Speedify is our app for letting you combine internet connections. And here it is. This is Speedify running live right now, right here. That traffic you see is this live stream going out to you guys, you folks, whatever. And we're using multiple internet connections. All right, Tomboy likes the graphs. Cool. Yeah, so you see, it's actually, we have the Comcast cable plugged into Ethernet, and Speedify thinks it's not good enough. It is going to the cellular.
I finally kicked the secondary. The cellular was primary for a little bit because got confused from before. No,
Yeah. All right. That wasn't really latencycy. Oh. Well, I changed Wi-Fi hotspots. Yeah, so that was me messing with the Wi-Fi. So that's what that was. All right. Well, seems to be going back to normal now. So that's what Speedify looks like. And my setup here, by the way, there's a Ethernet cable I can't risk trying to reach because it's hanging off the computer that we're streaming from. That's plugged into Comcast. And then I have 2 cell phones. This one's actually making a Wi-Fi hotspot that the Mac is joining. And this one is plugged in via USB and it's tethered. So that gives us a total of 3 internet connections. Ethernet, tethered iPhone, hotspot off an Android phone. And voila, we are super reliable. All right. Ooh. Let's see where you guys are from. All right, Tom's from Baltimore. Marby's from Philly. All right, Tom wants to know, how's your Comcast been? Okay. It's a lot better when you have Speedify and have the ability to fall back to a cell phone. It's not that uncommon that like it stops working for a few seconds. Comcast sent someone in like 2 weeks ago to tighten up all the cables and things, and seems to be working much better. So maybe we were actually dealing with a not quite tight or breaking cable or something. All right. Will suggests we rewrite it in Rust. I'll do that, Will. All right. Heard a lot about some cool outages. Cool outages. All right. Hey, Anto. Amir says hello. All right, first real question. Does Speedify support content streaming from different countries?
I guess it depends exactly what you mean by that. But yeah, Speedify allows you to connect to servers in different countries and look like you're coming from that country. But there's a lot of services that do block VPNs or block particular content on VPNs. So even if you're using our VPN to connect to a different country, some of those services may block you. So yeah, if you're using it to get around geo-blocks, your results may vary depending on what country you're connecting to and what service you're trying to access and things like that. But we do have bypass options for people that want to stay connected to the VPN and just allow some of that traffic to go around their normal home network or normal internet connection. So you can keep watching that stuff even if they block the VPN.
Abulant asks, what happened to your live stream over the weekend? My comm music was taken. Power outage in this office. I have a bunch of the critical routers and network switches on UPS, but the PC that is live streaming and the cameras are not on it. So for those who don't know, we have this live stream going on our Twitch channel. That's Twitch TV/Speedify. So what we're trying to do is really test how well we work with the Starlink. So to gather data, we got a Starlink and we put it on the roof, and then we put cameras on the roof, and now we're live streaming video over it. So that's running, 24/7 basically. It has all kinds of neat commands. You can put ! bridge and see the Ben Franklin Bridge. ! Expressway, see the 676 Expressway. Defaults here. There's a zoom option that does a digital zoom. It's fun stuff. We play chill music. But yeah, power failed in the building over the weekend, and that did not hit our backup power. So sorry about that. Also, turned out that PC is not, and I still haven't done anything about it, not actually configured to turn itself back on when power is restored. So I had to come in and press the button. All right, time to add a mobile router to the Starlink. Yeah, the Starlink itself was off. The mobile router would have been the only thing still working. You still wouldn't have had a stream. Best VPN. Thank you. I didn't know you could make computers turn themselves on. Yes. It's usually a setting in the BIOS. If you go in the BIOS, there's a setting on like when it gets power, it should just turn itself on or not. And by default, they ship with no. But you can set your computer to just turn on anytime that they're plugged in. That's how they take over. Yes. Yes, it is. And I welcome our new robotic overlords. They can't plug themselves in, though. Yet. All right. So why don't we go to the next section where we talk about what's new in Speedify. So let's go. So this is the part where we tell you what's new with Speedify. So Kevin, what's new with Speedify?
So we're working on finishing up the next release, which is coming out this week. And sometime in the next couple of days, it'll be 13.1 of Speedify. So I've been working on some different performance improvements, kind of behind the scenes, improving the performance on some different networks, different combinations of networks. Particularly look at the Starlink stuff as well, and seeing if we can improve better performance there. So it's been some of the stuff, and there've been some other. I'm trying to remember what other updates, some other little updates here and there for different things. I think we made the store experience a little better on some platforms, on the Apple platforms, a little more seamless. And I'm trying to remember. I don't know, other little fixes here and there. I don't remember.
So you spent a lot of time poking the Starlink, and I think some performance stuff came out of that. You want to talk about what all that was?
Sure. Yeah. Without going into too much technical detail, I'll see if I can summarize. But yeah, certainly with the Starlink is one example of kind of a very variable network. The performance varies, latency varies on it. You get spikes of loss. So yeah, there's a couple angles that we're looking at. One from the performance angle of handling how well we can fully utilize that connection, especially as it's changing. So we put in some different fixes there for how we're reordering packets from it, and how long we're waiting for things to come through, which kind of other internet connection, certain assumptions we made weren't necessarily the same. We had to tweak things a little bit with the Starlink, and then the other angle is looking at when things fail on the Starlink, because the Starlink does drop out over time. And so, yeah, being able to handle those situations better. You get some connections that'll just fail. They do a hard fail, and other ones that'll kind of halfway fail and still kind of keep working. And so kind of handling all those different cases of making sure that, is something really failing? Or are we overreacting to it? And how well we're reacting to different failures, and making sure that we're moving things over to the other connections. Those are all kind of areas that we looked at doing some fixes with.
Yeah, in some ways, the Starlink, right, it's different than other networks. It changes more, right? Sometimes it's wonderful. Sometimes it's fast. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes the latency is good. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the latency goes up and down, right? And you get jitter, and it's tough. All right. Tomboy says, a little bit random, but I'm caught up on the computers turning themselves on. This is why my old laptop would turn back on when it needed an update. Yeah. Yeah, there's all sorts of hidden settings. And a lot of times laptops these days, when you turn them off, they're not turned off. They're just, turning off the screen and there's sleep, and there's hibernate, there's like deep sleep, and these are all slightly different. None of them are actually turned off. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think none of them are actually turned off. Right? I think these computers are always slightly on. Haunted computer, that's right.
There's all the Wake on LAN stuff where you can send packets over the network to wake things up. And
yeah. Be right back, smashing my laptop. I was really interested to see that article about the Apple laptops yesterday. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
When the lid on an Apple laptop with an M1 or M2 chip closes, the microphone is physically disconnected.
Oh, interesting.
It is impossible to write software that uses the microphone on a Mac whose lid is closed if it was made in the last 2 years.
That's cool.
Even Apple can't at this point. It is built in the hardware. The microphone gets disconnected. The camera doesn't, but they point out that the camera is pointed right down into the trackpad. They didn't see the point. So I thought that was really cool. All right. So, when is this new release coming out?
So we're finishing up some of the testing and stuff right now. So hopefully by the end of the week, we're planning the next couple of days. Once we finish up testing with it, if things go well, probably Thursday or Friday.
All right. If you guys don't have more questions, I hear people want to ask us some trivia questions. So why don't let's go on to the trivia. You folks at home, you can just type your answers in. I'll give you a few seconds before I blurt out the correct answer. I don't have answers. I don't know what trivia questions are coming. So let's go to the trivia. All right. So this is the water cooler where people will put questions in for us to answer. Who is credited with finding the first bug in a computer? Grace Hopper.
Yeah.
Admiral Grace Hopper, although I don't think she was an admiral at the time. Oh, sorry about not giving you guys any time to answer. I lied. We'll try next time. Grace Hopper, 94%. All right. Who was the first woman to receive a PhD in computer science? Give you guys several seconds to answer. Throw that in the comments.
So we can see the answer. I don't know.
I think I do. Come on. Nobody knows? Kelly, right? Oh, Keller. That's close. Sister Mary Kenneth Keller. I thought it was Kelly, but I'll give myself full credit. All right, next question. All right, I'm starting to see a theme here. Which women in tech held a patent on a secret communication system?
It's kind of vague.
I don't know. I even know what it was. Frequency hopping, right? It's International Women's Day. Wait. Heidi Lamar, right? Yep, Heidi Lamar in 1942. Yeah. They were talking to her about how these radios were so easy to jam, and she just said, why don't we come up with a system that it just hop at a party, that it pseudo randomly hops frequencies, and we'll have both sides of our radios agree on the pattern of frequencies to change, and the enemy won't be able to keep up. So that's what Bluetooth is based on. I don't think Wi-Fi is. They say Wi-Fi. Lots of articles saying Wi-Fi is based on this, and it isn't. It's based on OFDM. But brilliant stuff. Who's next? Which women in tech helped form the gaming company Sierra Online? For my time. It's a question for old people. Come on, guys. Somebody's got to know. Come on, audience, answer it. I don't know.
You chat GPT in the comments. Probably would know all these.
GPT. We should pull up Chat GPT. Or Bing? Is it on Bing now?
I think so. Yeah, I haven't tried it on Bing.
Or do you have to be in their browser? Whatever the Microsoft browser is. The new Bing. Ask real questions, is it. Learn more. Join the wait list. I want to talk to Chat GPT. Damn it. All right. Roberta Williams. She's best known for her work in the King's Quest series. Yeah. For my time. I mean, I was a little kid when King's Quest was out, right? All right. Which woman in tech developed the algorithm behind the spanning tree protocol?
Oh, this is. Oh, I think I know. One, I forget the first name. Perlman, something like that.
We'll go with that. Yeah. Perlman. Damn. Radia Perlman. Good job.
First, I was thinking of the spanning tree algorithms, like Dijkstra and the other guys that made those ones, but then it's not.
That's because you're sexist. All right. Which woman in tech is known for the hardware work in augmented reality?
I assume there's more than one.
Yeah, it seems like a very big industry. Lots of people. I don't know. Augmented reality. Jesse Ellsworth.
I don't know who that is.
Means nothing to me. Which is the name of the movie about the women of computing in World War II? World War II. Bexley Park, I would say. At least that's what I would name such a movie. Is that a movie?
I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Feels like there was one. There are a bunch of women there. Alan Turing was.
I know there's the Hidden Figures one with the space,
Yeah,
the NASA stuff, but that's I know.
60s.
That's not World War II, though. Yeah,
that's way later. I'm gonna Bexley Park or whatever it is. Top Secret Rosie's, the female computers in World War II.
I've never heard of it.
We don't watch movies. All right. Which woman was the lead software engineer on Project Apollo? Oh, God, I can picture her, right? There's the famous photo of her standing next to the printout of her code on paper, and it's just taller than her. And she's standing there next to it.
I don't remember.
I know what she looks like. Can't see the text underneath in my mind. Margaret Hamilton. Yeah. That's crazy, right? I mean, 4K of RAM on the Apollo. But her source code, how it ended out in the machine? It wasn't a programmable computer. They took it and they gave it to these women who then stitched it, little copper wires, following the pattern of her machine language, right? Her code got compiled down in machine language, which was numbers, and these women stitched the copper to put it in. The code wasn't using any RAM at all. It was read-only memory, hand-built by, Yeah. All right. Which female video game designer worked on River Raid and Super Breakout?
I don't know. I don't know many video game designers.
Yeah. We don't know the male ones either.
I think of a guy that made Doom. I think that's the only video game designer. I think whatever his name, Carmack or whatever.
Yeah.
Carol Shaw.
Sorry. Which woman co-founded Apache Mahout, a platform for scalable machine learning and data mining?
No clue.
Yeah, I don't know. Isabel Drostrom. See, the trouble with the modern one is there's just so many people.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's All right. Mythical Man Month was a great book, right? So he Fred Brooks ran the largest software project in history in the 60s, right? He had 20 software developers. It was the first time anyone had ever done something so large, and then he wrote the book about it. And it's just basically right to this day. There are a few odd things, like they didn't have a version control system. So he talks about how your team has to have a librarian. And this is a person who's keeping track of who changed what in which files. That job got completely replaced by Git, right? We just have software that does that. But most of the other stuff about how impossible it is to estimate and how you need to have one brainiac in the middle who actually knows what's going on and how important it is to protect that person's time. You can't have them getting sucked into dumb meetings. All right. Hey, guys. I'm from AFG, Afghanistan, I guess. I like so much the VPN. It's perfect, but I have poor economy. Can I use free account unlimited? This stuff costs us money, man. We give away as much as we can. And, our bills for how much bandwidth we give away are frankly insane. We could have multiple more employees here. We didn't give away so much service to so many deserving people, and we care. But I already know nothing about computer science. Now I really know little. Yeah. I can see, what do we know? All right. So what else? Do we have anything on our agenda? Audience question and answer. I think we're there already. All right. So March 9th, tomorrow, we are sending Will out on a bicycle. We're giving him a couple cell phones running Speedify, and he's going to strap him to the bike, and he's going to go riding through the city of Philadelphia. And I am going to sit here and comment. And it's going to be a fantastic stream. And we've actually rigged up Speedify so that we can pull the live graphs off his phone and show them here. So we can be watching the graphs, watching him, maybe me in the corner. And it will be very exciting. We've done this in the past, and people love watching Speedify employees risk life and limb. And all right. March 14th, we're doing a church media panel. We're going to have a couple people. It's going to be really interesting. There's a lot of technology that goes into streaming from churches these days. Then March 21st, Dan Rosehill, who's going to talk about marketing communications for emerging tech. And then, of course, next Wednesday, 7 days from now, we're going to do this again. Version control was revolutionary. It was revolutionary. Yeah, I mean, he really talked. I mean, he knew the need, and so he talked about you have to have one person on your team dedicated to keeping track of who changed what and what file, and the developer should go to him and say, "What's the actual latest version of the code?" And he'll give them the actual version of the code, and now it's just get update.
I feel like that could be applicable in so many other areas that don't use it. I feel like people talk about the same issues of keeping track of who changed what and this stuff. And I mean, Word docs do some of that, but
Yeah,
it's a problem for other areas too.
GitHub now, when you change a JPEG, it can give you that view of the image, and you can drag the bar back and forth and see the old version and the new version. They've made this really slick web interface. You know, you can also just show the two pictures side by side, but if someone changes your image, you can slide, see the before and after. Yeah, somebody had some fun. I don't know how important it is, but I love it. It's a fun toy. All right. Yep. All right. Well, seems like we're running out of questions. So, yeah, a lot of people watching. Oh, here we go. Who's this guy? Asks, is there a way to run the virtual router into a hardware router via Cat5? Not sure if said that properly.
Yeah, so I think he means he wants to run Speedify and then share that to a router and have the router serve all your client devices. Yes, you can do that. So yeah, there's the question of what you run. We don't support running directly on a lot of routers right now, but you can get other small little Linux devices to act as the device running Speedify and then share that into the WAN port of your router and use that router to serve your whole network.
So with our Linux version, we give you all the scripts to do this. If you look in support.speedify.com, there are articles like how to share Speedify over Ethernet on Linux. And if you do that, you can then, from your Linux box, have an Ethernet that goes into the router, into the internet or WAN port, whatever it says. And once you plug in there, voila, you have a real hotspot, and everything that goes to the internet will go into Speedify, across Speedify, and then out to the internet. On Windows, we have Connectify Hotspot. Purchase a license for that. We have wired router mode, where you can get a PC to share internet out the Ethernet cable and plug that into a router. Gotta be honest, the people, Connectify Hotspot, that's my baby. But running on Windows, there's Windows updates, stuff like that. If you really want a router that runs 24/7, the Linux options are probably better, right? I mean, Windows computers still need to reboot once a week to this day. So it's up to you, but it works. You pop it on, share over it. All right. What are the team plans you have on your website? All right. So Speedify for Teams. This is a version of Speedify for businesses. It's the same app, but the account one, there's sort of central management. You can pay for 40 people, put them on your credit card, and assign out their licenses. And you can check whether or not they're really using it. And if they're not, you can stop paying for them or assign the license to someone else. You can also get dedicated servers once you have a Teams plan. And that gets you your own machine, so you're never slowed down, even if our servers get busy. And it lets you do things like port forwarding. Once you have your own server, you have your own IP address. So you can say, any traffic that hits port 443, is 443 allowed?
Not 443.
Any but 443. Any traffic that hits port 8000, send it through to my computer. So you can do weird things where you run servers over Speedify. All right. I'll look it up. Sorry. Yeah. And Ebulant is clearly browsing our website. Does it work for families too? Yes. So we have a family plan for the cost of 1.5 of a regular license. You get 4, or is it 4 extra?
4 plus so you get 5 total, right?
Yeah. You get a total of 5 users for the cost of 1.5 with our family plan. So if you like Speedify, you think the other people in your family would like it, it is very little extra money to just turn on the whole family. And once you do that at myspeedify.com, you can put in the email addresses of your family members, and they all get instantly working Speedify. Appreciate your assistance. Oh, yeah. Somebody posted the articles. Good. Fryoshi is back from Japan. Any idea why I cannot SSH into my computer if Speedify is running? The packet is received, but the computer does not respond back. If I had VPS as route exception, and well, there it works.
So it's possible. Assuming you're running Speedify and you're trying to SSH from like the same network or something. I guess I'm confused about.
Are you on the same network? Like, are you coming across the Wi-Fi to the computer, or are you trying to come across the internet to your computer?
Yeah.
Tell us more, Fryoshi.
Because there could be weird things with the routing where when it responds back, it's sending it over the Speedify tunnel to the internet or something. If you're doing something from the internet, maybe you need to add some sort of exclusion that particular, either for that port or that IP that goes around the VPN
is
tunnel.
Kind of normal.
Yeah.
IPsec can be weird. All right. Yaya says, is it possible to combine two mobile phones' data with Speedify?
Yes.
Depending on your scenario, there's a couple ways to do it, right? So what I usually do with my two phones, I'll have one of them make a hotspot and the other one join it. And now the one that joined it has its own cellular, and across the hotspot, it can use the cellular of the second phone. So now I've got two cellulars on one phone. You can also do, what I'm doing here, I've got a Mac. I have tethered my iPhone, and I'm making a hotspot off my Android. And so the end result is that my Mac here has 3 internet connections: the built-in Ethernet, the Pixel Wi-Fi going to the cellular of the Android, and the AT&T off the tethered iPhone. So it's pretty cool. Right. But if you want it for all your cousins, you get this plan. Oh, here's it. Okay. Frayoshi's back. Oh, no. I tried to SSH from another network. I think it's because the packet is received from Ethernet, but the answer from the computer is sent to Connectify, so it gets lost.
Yeah, it might be because I don't know which type of computer you're using, but it might be because it's trying to respond over the default route, which is Speedify. So you might need to add some route exceptions. Assuming you're on Linux or Windows or something, that you might need to add some route exceptions for things to go around the VPN.
If the IP address of the other network is one of the normal local ones, a 192, a 10 dot, a 172, then Speedify figures it out that this is not traffic for the internet. But otherwise, I could see us deciding it was for the internet and sending it out over Speedify, because Speedify is the way to the internet. Should he send an email to support? Could you help him with this, or?
Possibly, yeah. If you want to contact the support, we can see what we can do. If you can give details about what computer you're running on and the setup a little bit more.
I assume it's Linux if you're doing SSH, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
All right. I have added a 22 as exception from Speedify CLI, but did not work. Still trying to figure the thing out. For the moment, I've added a VPS as route exception and reverse tunnel from there.
Yeah, it's still a little weird because I'm assuming that the traffic isn't coming in over Speedify. It's coming in from another route and then going out. So even if you might need to do the exception in the operating system routing rather than in Speedify, because Speedify, it'll make a new socket to bypass it, and that's going to not match up with the original one. You can email support.
That might be the right answer. So, you think he's just got it right now?
It sounds like he sounds like he's tunneling in from something else. But if you can just add a route exception from wherever you're coming from to be able to have that traffic go around, then I think that's what you want to do. So it sounds like you know how to add route exceptions, but I would just do that for the traffic that's coming in for SSH, rather than you shouldn't need to tunnel in from from somewhere else. But yeah, it sounds like you're on the right track, I think.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, the Speedify CLI, probably not right. Because that'll put it to the proxy. It'll make a new socket, and that's not what you want. Yeah, you need to do it in the OS. That's fine. Sounds like you know how to do that. So, all right. So tomorrow we're gonna put Will on a bicycle and send him careening down the streets of Philadelphia with a bunch of phones connected to each other with Speedify, and hopefully we'll be able to, keep a link to him until his bicycle catches fire. He's got one of these crazy electric bikes he's so proud of. And all right.
Good luck, Will.
Yes. Well, we'll end it with Tomboy's good luck, Will. All right. Yeah, it's 2:42. We've been at this for 40 minutes. Thank you, everybody. It has been fun. We will be back tomorrow. We'll be back next Wednesday. Let's see. Next week, we're going to be doing the church media panel. Super exciting because, as you know, church is high tech now. Live streaming. They've got cameras and microphones and software and effects and social media accounts. Complicated stuff. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. And good night. See you all online.